Hi everyone, this is Afreen and I'll be giving you the overview and the summary of our communication management plan project. And this is a real life example of Kathy Hofex, who got murdered in 1986 in Clarkson University, which is in Potsdam, USA. And the overall of the view of the project of this murder case is that it's been seen that there was some communication issue in security guards, and then the president of the university then accepted this arena where the girl got murdered and assaulted was not being properly maintained, and the security was not right over there. So this is the normal communication management plan for this case study, in which we are highlighting uh, few of the major aspects of the stakeholders and how we can make the communication more effectively in the coming future and to avoid such scenarios.
Hi, I'm Gia, and I'll be talking about the key stakeholders in this project and how we are going to approach talking to them. So, our main stakeholders are the customer, which is Andrew Smith, the Clarkson University president. We have our sponsor, which is the University Director of Student Life. And of course, we have our project manager, Janet Smith. So these are the ones that we'll be engaging the most with and we'll be talking to the most, just for a basic overview. But we have to consider other stakeholders, especially the local community, especially because they've been the most impacted by this crime. And we also want to make sure that they feel heard and that they feel like this project is benefiting them most of all. So some of our other stakeholders are going to be local community. For example, there is a Safe Campus Now student organization, which was started after Katie Hawelka's murder. There is a Neighborhood Watch, which was started also for the same reason. And the Clarkson University student body, which is very committed and engaged to establishing the security plan. So we have established weekly or monthly check like status updates with them, and of course the project announcement memo, so they can know what's going to be done and how that's going to work and what are our goals with this project. Um, we also have some security services at play, um, multiple of them, because they're going to be focusing on different parts of the security measures. For example, we have the EMT services, which we'll have to refer to if there's any student that needs medical assistance, and EMT services are trained to deal with that. Some of the students are also EMT trained, but this is one of the trainings that we're going to have, to reach out to the EMT directly instead of having to call a third party contact. We also have Paladin Security, which is currently the on-campus security. They're also going to receive a special training in handling security measures and making the campus safer. This is also hired by the college. And we also have Goliath Security Systems. So Goliath is the one that's going to be providing the emergency booths that we see around campus, and they're very common in other campuses around North America today. So they're the ones that are going to be installing. And with them, we are going to have status updates, and especially with Paladin and Goliath, because they're hired by the college. But the EMT services are a separate group, but that we're going to be working with. And for local government, we will be working with the Potsdam County Police Department. It's important that we are all on the same page with them, because if there's any real big emergency on campus, we have to be able to reach out to them and have a clear form of communication. So these are some of the other stakeholders that we have to consider in doing this project and communicating. Of course, there are a lot more stakeholders, but these are some of the ones that we have to, communicate in a way that shows that the biggest benefit will be to the community as a whole, and that we are here to establish and implement these safety measures for not just the campus, but the Potsdam community.
Hello, my name is Tristan Aiken. I'm one of the project members. I will be presenting on the communication matrix for the communication management plan. We have a process before we distribute our final documents. They have to be drafted and seen by the senior project manager, and then our final documentations will be distributed to our internal stakeholders before they are sent to our external stakeholders. So our draft documents, as I said before, will be sent to the senior project manager by our project team as required throughout the entire project by email and also on our shared drive. Our approved documents will be sent to the senior project manager and the project team by the project manager as required by or through the email and our shared drive. So our documentation that will be seen by external and internal stakeholders are expense reports, change requests, status reports, daily reports, and project announcements. So our approved expense reports will be seen by the accounting department, college board, school presidents. They are itemized lists of expenses incurred. They'll be sent as required by the project manager through email, or change requests after they've been approved will be sent to the project officer, the senior project manager, and the school president. Their requests regarding any change that may affect the scope, time, or cost of the project, they'll be sent as required by the project team through email, or status reports will be sent weekly and monthly by the project team to the school president and the senior project manager through email. And lastly, we have our daily reports and our project announcements. Our daily reports will be sent to the senior project manager by the project team, and there are status updates that communicate the project progress for the day. And lastly, we have our project announcements, which will be sent to the school community and the local community as required by the school president.
I'm Sabrishan Paramsam. I'm a financial manager of this project. So we are going to provide a security service for a class and university. So I'm working on this project. So now I'm going to explain about the project meeting. So the project meeting involves different categories. The project meetings are more important because the project meeting facilitates collaboration, leadership, and top quality decision making. A well-organized meeting at each critical stage of this project is the best way to keep project on the track. So understanding project meeting type is the key to developing agendas, and will cover all the required topics for each meeting without getting off track. So we are going to see about the meeting in the project. So we have a requirement gathering meeting. So initially we have a meeting with all stakeholders and clients, because so we need to introduce about our company, so and all the things to our stakeholders, and how we are providing service to other clients, and how we will provide a service to the client who is dealing with us now. So we are going to explain all this in the first meeting. After that, we will arrange a meeting for the requirement gathering. So if a project, if we are working on a project, we need a requirements. So it's like a milestone for the project. So without requirement, we can't do anything for the project. So we will gather a requirement from our client. So after gathering a requirement, we have an internal meeting with our team. So in that internal meeting, so how we will provide a resource and security to the company, to the class and university. So how we will going to sort out the resource. So we will going to outsource the resource from a different vendor, or we are going to also we are going to give a resource from our company. So the project budget, so we will discuss all with our team, and the implementation. So what are the complications and we will do the risk analysis for the project. So after we are having with our internal meeting, we will provide a project cost and BRD document to the client. So we will explain all the project cost and the BRD document to our client. So after the project cost, so we will get a sign from our client. It's a confirmation from the client side. So after that only we can proceed our project. So without getting a confirmation, we cannot proceed the project. So we will proceed our project after getting confirmation from our client. So after that, we will have a normal like client status meeting. If there is any change request in the current project, we will have a meeting with our client, and we will change the security up. We will provide update or the change in the security model. So after that we will have a project budget meeting. So project budget meeting is kind of a meeting which held in each and every year. So how much revenue we earned from the project, so how we will spend our expense to the project. So it's like kind of balance sheet. So we will provide a budget to our team. So after that, how we will sort out the resource, and we will how to increase our revenue from this project. We will discuss all this in the project budget meetings. These are the main meeting in the projects. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Sabrish, for detailing out on project meetings. And hi, I'm Cheryl Percy, and I'm one of the team members, and I will be talking about the project reporting in our plan. So regarding the reports, as you have seen, Ms. Drisen has already elaborated on daily reports, status reports, and other approved documents. And I will be talking about the other reports, other main reports that we will be documenting for this project of the security upgrade plan. The first and the foremost are the project status report. So this will be owned by our project manager, Ms. Jane Smith, and the progress of the project and its updates will be documented and will be updated to the client on a day-to-day basis. The second one will be the milestone reviews, and this will also be owned by a project manager and the team, where the milestones achieved and the new milestones added are documented, pinned, and updated after completion of each milestone. Further, the third one will be the specifications of the security plan. Here, the owner of this one will be the procurement specialist, Mr. Jackson Linden. And here, what we'll be doing is report of all the specification and installation of the security system will be documented and it will be made available to the contractors. The fourth important one are the risk reports, and the owner here will be myself, Cheryl Percy, as I am the risk analyst. And what will be done here is that the risks that are active and inactive will be documented, and these risks are checked, solved as and when needed. These risks are then tabulated and ranked based on the priority. And the final important report here are the variance reports. This will be owned by Mr. Sabrishwaran Paramasivam, who will be the finance manager of this project. And here what we'll do is these reports will be updated about the cost estimated and the cost spent for the project. This report is maintained by the finance manager, and here what we'll be doing is giving a difference on how much value has been spent and how much we have saved, and all the budgets will be documented here. Thank you. Next stage is to create an escalation procedure for resolving the issue. So we have tabulated a procedure and a plan for it. So let me elaborate on it. The first step will be to identify what the issue or the problem is, then tabulate and record the issue in our project reports. And the third step would be to assign the issue to the respective in charge. So what the project manager does here is assign all this to the respective members, maybe the financial manager or the procurement, if there are issues regarding that particular team. So next, the project team will analyze the issue and find ways to sort it, and then they will tabulate the possible solution and steps for it. Then we will review and test the steps that we have tabulated, and from that, whatever is the most feasible solution, we would select from this and implement it. And if the issue is solved, and if the communication problem is sorted or the project problem is sorted, then the case will be closed. This will be our escalation procedure for resolving the issues. But in case if the problem is not solved, then we will again start with the procedure of tabulating the possible solutions and steps. So what we will do is we will tabulate minimum 3 feasible solutions to a problem, and based on that we would again try out the different possible ways in which we can solve it. So this is regarding the escalation procedure. The last step will be updating modes for communication plan, and these 6 steps are the ways in which we will updating the communication. The first one will be brainstorming, through which we will bring about solutions to resolve all the problems. The second one will be Zoom meetings for follow-up meets, followed by in-person team meetings, which will include the kickoff meeting, the change request meetings, and next will be notifying through status reports to update what is the progress of the project and how much the project has been completed. Followed by this, we will be using Kumo Space, which is an application which shows the different stages of the project and different documents for the project, everything in one single unit. And finally will be the usual practice of using the emails and formal notices. These are the 6 steps in which we will be updating the communication plan. Thank you.
We have 3 top reasons for why we believe completing our communication management plan was important. Firstly, it helps all our stakeholders understand the goal and objectives of the projects. So it allows for the alignment with all our stakeholders. We will all be on the same page as to the purpose and the importance of completing this project. Secondly, our plan showcases all the different communication methods and the frequency at which we'll be using those methods. Therefore, by completing our communication management plan, it helps us identify who we need to communicate with and when we need to communicate with them. Therefore, it allows us to not be confused, any of our stakeholders to be confused as to how the connection needs to be handled, which in the end helps us save on time and money. So, for instance, if our project team member wanted to communicate with the project manager and the project team member's choice of communicating was email, but our project manager prefers to look at a shared drive for any updates, and they never look at their email, they will never get the correspondence, or at least they will never read the email. And the project team member may be waiting for a response and wondering why are they not getting that response. So with the communication management plan showing exactly how the project manager prefers to be communicated with by shared drive, the project team member will put all the updates and all the questions on the shared drive, and then the project manager will see it and respond. So ultimately, our communication management plan will save time and in the end also save us money.